Today we are in Perth, the capital of Western Australia, and sits where the Swan River meets the southern west coast and has a population of just over 2 million people. What is Perth famous for, you may ask, and that it is a very, very clean city with parklands, white sandy beaches and the nearby Rottnest Island and the famous Fremantle markets. It is also the most western capital city on the continent, with the nearest being Adelaide in South Australia, which is 2,700 kilometres by road, and the other one is Darwin, just over 4,000 kilometres. We are embarking on a journey to Rottnest Island by ferry from Hillary's Boat Harbour, also called the Breakwater Marina. There are two ways to get to Rottnest Island, and that is from the jetty next to the Hilton Hotel at the Elizabeth Quay in town, which will also give you a ride on the Swan River to the island. We had to take a 30-minute bus ride from the city to Hillary's Boat Harbour, which was the departure point, and is not along the river but a seaside town, still taking the same 45 minutes ferry ride to Rottnest. These ferries will only take people as there are no cars on the island. The main transport is by bike, and sedgeways are now available to roam the island. There are several bus tours available for you to explore the island, and a putt-putt train that will take you on a journey to Cannon Hill. You will arrive at Thompson Bay, where you will find several restaurants and a general store, hire places and a coffee shop. There is a hop-on, hop-off bus daily with 45-minute intervals depending on the season, and the bus stops at 19 locations around the island. We climbed aboard the Captain Hussey train to take in the amazing views of the Wajimap of Rottnest Island, which means place of spirits, with a journey to the historical Oliver Hill gun and tunnel fortification. Departing from the train station in the main settlement, the 64-seat Captain Hussey train takes us you to a historical landmark along the south side of the island, and travel between the salt lakes and through the bristling scrub towards the centre of the island, and you'll eventually start up the steep climb up to Oliver's Hill. Upon arrival at Oliver's Hill, you can explore the site on your own or join the Oliver Hill Gun and Tunnel Tour. This is a significant historical Australian World War II heritage site, and Oliver Hill was one of the 7 similar gun emplacements built between 1937 and 1945 to defend Fremantle from warship bombardments. Henrietta Rocks is located on the western side of Rottnest Island and is a small secluded beach. The sand is purely white, and crystal clear waters are perfect for swimming, snorkeling and fishing. It is also a favourite spot for spotting seals and dolphins, while the fastest way is getting there on the hop-on, hop-off bus. It is less than a half an hour's walk from the main settlement. Henrietta Rocks is a spectacular spot for explorers on Rottnest Island. Whether you just want to admire the view, the lookout point gives you an epic view across the bay, and if you look closely you can see the wreck of the ship, the Shark, under the surface of the water, just lying 50 metres from the shore. Exploring the island, we came across what is most important to Rottnest Island, and that was to come face to face with a quokka. In total, there are around 10,000 quokkas on Rottnest Island. They are part of the macropod family, which are relatives to the kangaroos and the wallabies, and they are the only mammals native to Rottnest Island. Busselton is well known as a superb beachside holiday town and sits on the edge of the beautiful Geographe Bay and is 220 kilometres from the city of Perth. It is well positioned for snorkelling, fishing, whale watching and swimming. The crystalline waters of the bay and inviting white sandy beaches and coastal trails makes this a perfect holiday destination. Busselton really is the gateway to the world-famous Margaret River wine region and has been named the winner of the 2021 Top Tourism Town Awards. In downtown Busselton, there are playgrounds, walking paths, cafes and bars along the fantastic developed foreshore, not to mention the famous 19th century Busselton jetty and its iconic red train. The surrounding parklands makes an ideal spot for a picnic or a barbecue, or just soaking up the sun on the pristine beaches. There is from time to time live music on the parklands as well. Busselton is home to the longest wooden jetty in the southern hemisphere, stretching out 1,841 metres out to sea. Construction of the jetty began in 1864 and was extended until 1960 when it reached its current length. It was closed to shipping in 1972 and maintenance was discontinued for a time. It had major damage caused by the cyclone Alby in 1978 and a fire in 1999. It was restored and improved, and since 2003 the jetty has offered visitors a tourist train ride and underwater observatory. The Stocker Preston Express electric jetty train, which took its maiden voyage in 2017, is powered by solar panels and is the first of its kind in Australia. Features of the new train include 6 seats in each section, accessible carriages for wheelchairs and walkers. And with 90 seats and trips leaving on the hour throughout the day, the Stocker Preston Express electric jetty train is the perfect way to experience the Busselton jetty. The engine or locomotive part has a unique way of turning around. It has 8 wheels, 4 of those are on the rail track, and as it approaches the end of the track, those wheels are raised and 4 other rubber tyre wheels take over and are now able to travel on flat ground. The whole system is reversed and can take your way back into town. During your trip back, keep your eyes peeled on the water, as you may see glimpses of dolphins frolicking and spotting local fishermen snaring their catch of the day. The jetty train trip is a definite must when you visit Busselton. Mammoth Cave is a large limestone cave which is 21 kilometres south of the town of Margaret River in southwestern Australia and about 300 kilometres south of Perth. It lies within the Lewin National Park and is surrounded by Kari and Mari Forest. There have been extinct animal fossils found in Mammoth Cave. And why is the cave called Mammoth Cave, you may ask? The name Mammoth was first used to describe the cave in the early 1800s. It refers to mammoth as in big, massive size of the cave's chambers and avenues. The caves features stalactites and stalagmites, and large columns where two of these formations have joined. One of these features is the bottomless pit situated just beyond the rockfall known as the Giant Coffin. This pit has a depth of about 105 feet, and directly above the pit is a dome-shaped circular well, some 63 feet high. Over 10,000 fossils had at one time accumulated inside that cave, and upon excavating, many of these were found to be the remains of the Australian megafauna, which means giant animals, that became extinct around 46,000 years ago. There's even a 50,000-year-old Zergomarturus jawbone embedded in the cave wall. Throughout the cave there are boardwalks and many climbing steps, walkways and ramps. I must say a very safe journey and experience with plenty of light provided. The total steps, including the forest walks, added up to approximately 550 steps. A visit to Mammoth Cave finishes with a winding walk through a beautiful Mari forest. The Mari forest is currently regenerating and reinventing itself following the recent fires. Mammoth Cave is such much more than a cave, it's definitely a complete nature experience. On our travels, we stayed at the Pullman 5-star Bunker Bay Resort, located in the southwest of Western Australia, nestled alongside the crystal waters of beautiful Bunker Bay in the Margaret River wine region, and a 3-hour drive from Perth. The resort has 150 luxury units with dining facilities, and only a short walk away from the pristine beach of Bunker Bay. We stayed here, making this our home away from home and a good place to bunker down, and a good daily departure point for exploring further afield, such as Margaret River wineries and Cape Leeuwin. The boardwalk will take you direct from the resort to the beach, passing the serenity of the lake. And the bay is protected by the rocky outcrops of Cape Naturalista, and is one of the very few north-facing beaches in Western Australia.
So fine, it just falls through your fingers. Look. Incredible.
Bootleg Brewery is situated in the heart of Margaret River wine region and is a favourite for both visitors and locals. Set aside a picturesque lake, Bootleg Brewery has been handcrafting a multi-award-winning range of ales and lagers. Set on a 74-acre property in Willibra, close to Margaret River, Bootleg Brewery was founded in 1994. At that time, there were only 2 other pub brewers in WA. The on-site restaurant has a great range of cuisine which varies according to season, and fresh local produce is available at any time. And what's even better, Bootleg Brewery hosts live music gigs over the weekends, and these events always attract large crowds who love spending Saturday and Sunday afternoons in the serene atmosphere of the park while listening to great music and enjoying a large variety of quality handcrafted bootleg beers. We were invited to have a traditional barbecue feast with Kumal Dreaming and give us the opportunity to taste native foods, discover bush medicine, experience traditional fire lighting, boomerang throwing, and connect with the Wadandi and Bilboomin country through the eyes of the traditional owners. Wadandi custodian Josh Kumal Whiteland is sharing his culture and knowledge with visitors like us and provide a deeper appreciation of the beautiful and inspiring Cape to Cape region of Margaret River. And by the way, Kumal actually means Brustel possum. Josh is a very experienced musician and is showing his talent of a memorable didgeridoo and percussion performance. Aravina Estate is located in Yallingup within the premium wine growing region of Margaret River in Western Australia. The picturesque grounds of Aravina Estates are home to its Celador restaurant and bar. Aravina Estate consists of 180 acres, of which 69 acres are under vine, including Semillon, Sauvignon Blanc and many other grape varieties. Aravina wines are now fully estate grown, and their entire journey from vine to bottle is completed here on site. Not only just for wine tasting, Aravina is a premier wedding destination in the Margaret River region and the perfect estates with its sparkling lakes and perfect manicured gardens. Some 322 kilometres south of Perth and well known for its lighthouse, Cape Leeuwin is situated at the most southwesterly point of mainland Western Australia and on one of the world's well-known capes. Cape Leeuwin Historic Lighthouse is the tallest lighthouse on the mainland and at the tip of a spectacular peninsula. It was back in 1801 when English navigator Matthew Flinders named the peninsula Cape Leeuwin. And just imagine that where I'm standing here today, the two great oceans, the Great Southern Ocean and the Indian Ocean, come together here at Cape Leeuwin. The vegetation is quite different compared to the large forest you find in Margaret River, as this area is made up of scrubland. Dense coastal heath dominates the windswept western slopes, together with pink pimelia, yellow buttercups and wattles. We have travelled all the way back to Perth and are now embarking on a 10-day cruise exploring the northern coast of Western Australia. Our departure point is here from Fremantle on the cruise ship the Coral Princess, up to as far as the Kimberley coast. On our return, we will be staying here at the Esplanade Hotel, exploring a little more of Fremantle. The itinerary of this cruise is taking us to Exmouth, Broome, Curry Bay, and scenic cruises past the Kimberley coast, Geraldton and back to Fremantle. Our first port of call was Exmouth, but we didn't get off the ship as we didn't think there was much to do there, and after all the excursions were sold out. Our next stop was Broome and a coach into town provided by Princess Cruises, where we were able to conduct our own private tour. Having spent a while on previous occasions in Broome and surrounding areas, we found that the city actually lacked a little bit of its sparkle. The city was very quiet and very little to do. We can only blame this on the downturn during the COVID 3 years of minimal visitors to the area. Of course, there are many other outdoor activities, such as visiting the Willie Creek Pearl Farm, the hovercraft excursion around Rhubarb Bay, looking for dinosaurs' footprints, and the spectacular cliffs of Controm. And there are also exciting Harley tours with Roger, who will take you on a spin. And I said, yes, he will take you on a spin. Right on Cable Beach, you can enjoy the Xander's Cafe, where you can dine in or have that urge for takeaway. And right next door is our favourite bar and grill with spectacular views across the ocean waves. The tide in Broome can extend up to 9 metres high, and at that time of the day the tide was high and covered up all the beautiful long stretching golden beaches that Broome is so well known for. During our cruise, unfortunately, our stop at Curry Bay was cancelled due to the recent flooding in that area. Instead, we are doing a late afternoon 2-hour scenic cruise through Yampi Sound. Yampi Sound is part of the Indian Ocean off the coast of northwestern Australia in the Kimberley region of Western Australia. It is located between King Sound and Collier Bay. It lies between the Yampi Peninsula and the islands of the Buccaneer Archipelago, which contains a group of 800 to 1,000 islands. Yampi Sound is approximately 400 kilometres long in a straight line, whereas the actual length of the coastline between them is well over 12,500 kilometres long and includes 2,500 mapped islands. The most important of these islands is one is Cockatoo and the other one is Kulin, which are rich in iron ore deposits and was mined during the second half of the 20th century. The Kimberley Coast is a spectacular and picturesque area, unique and most satisfying way by ship to experience this beautiful coastline. To properly appreciate the especially lovely and remote places of the Kimberleys, one would need months and months to explore. There are narrow river canyons, small bays tucked behind the peninsulas, island beaches made of quartz crystals, caves decorated with Aboriginal art, unusual animals, beautiful waterfalls, spectacular cliffs, and interesting hikes. We did a quick stop in Geraldton, where the free bus provided by Princess took us into town. Again, a very small town with little to do, as Geraldton's main activity is being a working port. The port of Geraldton is a major west coast seaport. Geraldton is an important service and logistics centre for regional mining, fishing and wheat. The silo complex allows for the efficient handling of wheat and oats, barley, lupins, canola, chickpeas and even fava beans produced in the region. It has, however, 4 spectacular beaches, all safe and very calm, and excellent for windsurfing and fishing. Sunset Beach is popular for surfing and, as the name suggests, a beautiful place to enjoy watching the sun sink into the Indian Ocean. Today we are on our adventure of a 10-day cruise from Fremantle to the North Coast and the Kimberleys and back to Fremantle. The ship itself has 16 decks and 1,000 guest cabins, and has a gross tonnage of about 91,600 tonnes. So that makes it an average size ship in today's world. The vessel has 3 swimming pools, the Lido, the Lotus Pool, and there's also one in the Sanctuary. The Lotus Pool is on the Lido deck and is the ship's swim against the current pool, allowing guests to swim proper laps. It is an adult only pool and has 2 hot tubs on either side of it. And then there's the Lido Pool, which is located midship on the Lido deck with 3 hot tubs and served by the Lido Bar and also the Princess Pizzeria. Beautiful pizzas. Also adjoining the Lido Pool is a very large screen showing movies, concerts and some sporting events. The vibrant 3-story piazza serves as the ship's main hub, featuring live music and street performances. There are also special events and shopping and several bars. There are many other venues around the ship where passengers will find an array of entertainment options, including the lavish stage shows and the Princess Theatre. There's also a nightclub act at the Explorers Lounge and cooking demonstrations or guest lectures at the intimate Universe Lounge. The Wheelhouse Bar is a large venue with its own bar and stage with live music, dancing and trivia for entertainment. It is also an ideal venue to meet up with friends after a hectic day on shore and have that relaxing time for pre-dinner cocktails and also your favourite tapas. There are 2 specialty restaurants. Sabatini's is one of them and is a traditional Italian restaurant with specialty dining options and is ideal for celebrations or a romantic dinner. Sabatini's is offering a fresh new menu now served a la carte and featuring the bold and sophisticated flavours and pastas and authentic Italian specialties. The Bayou Restaurant is a specialty cafe and steakhouse where you can drool over a massive traditional steak. However, both restaurants, Sabatini's and Bayou, will charge you an additional $35 to $39 per person. We've always been very happy with the traditional dining in the main dining rooms where the food and service is just impeccable. One of our favourite places to spend an evening is the Crooners Bar, which springs to life every night with a piano entertainer, and this time with James McD and his massive list of songs that keep many on their toes. This venue is packed every night and you have to be early to get a seat. And to keep the entertainment and evening alive, as usual, we have Katie taking on the dance floor, showing that you, at her age, yes, this is how to have fun.
guy. Reaching out, touching me, touching you. Social distancing. Sweet Caroline, up on phone. Your times never seem so good. I am feeling kind to believe in the word for now. Good to see the kids come here tonight.